What's going on, y'all? Y'all already know the vibes. Central Ohio Creators back in the building. We got the Jet Taking 3 vibes here. Ohio Keys like always. And we got Mr. Jeremiah X in the building with us today.
Sure.
This gentleman is a music artist, father, barber, very creative individual, looking to line himself up to have a big 2025. Recently dropped a project called Master of Ceremonies back in August of this year. Some solid hip-hop vibes on there. Make sure y'all tap in with that. I believe it was, 7 tracks on there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so not an EP, a little bit better than an EP, so make sure y'all tap in with that. But we're happy to have you in the studio with us today, man.
Sure.
It's a pleasure.
For sure.
Yes, sir. Keish, want to go first?
Okay, so
Let's get it.
The first question I have for you is, what's your story and what made you get into music?
My story is, long story short, my story is that of two parents that were together and conceived me out of love. My parents were never married. My mother went to the military and my father went to Central State University. And traveling the world with my mother, I became a man kind of early and was forced to leave the home, and my mother sent me to live with my father my senior year of high school. So I graduated from Reynoldsburg right on time and planted my roots in Columbus, Ohio. And the rest is that.
Okay.
So
But what started me to rapping?
Yeah.
So back when I was getting in trouble when I was a young man, there was this crew that I was down with called PPH. You know what I mean? I'll tell you what it stands for later. But we had a disagreement with another crew. And this is in high school. So I'm 15, 10th grade, something like that. So anyway, we hear that the crew is talking crazy about us. One of them wrote a rap. So I didn't rap. None of us rapped, but my god brother did. So my god brother put on a beat and he wrote a rap. So I wrote the rap while he was writing his rap. And I remember my rap to this day. My first rap that I ever wrote was a diss rap to a sucker Emcee. My diss rap was my first rap that I wrote was a diss to him. And we kicked it at the homecoming dance later that week. Like, we debuted our rap. Everybody knew we was gonna rap battle, and it was like we coming at him, and I came at him. This is like 99, 2000. I came at him with like maybe like a 60 bar verse, like a 60 bar verse, like a whole page front and back of just disrespectful wordplay. And the response that I got from everybody, the way that I felt from that, I loved it, and I still chase that feeling to this day. To be able to run up on stage and say something and shock and amaze. Like, I love that. I love to see people's faces like, bro, I didn't know you rap. You damn right I rap. I rhyme and I can do whatever I put my mind to, right? So my first rap was a diss rap, and it felt amazing, and we crushed them. Because we fought afterwards, after the rap and after the disrespect was thrown. Then we got to scrap in the parking lot, and it was a melee, and it was legendary where I'm from. And so that was that. And so from that, I just never stopped. And coincidentally, like, my producer now, the person that I link back up with in my 40s to do music with, is the same brother that taught me how to rap, wrote the rap, my god brother PJ. So God bless. I was on the phone with him this morning. He's back on because he stopped to produce for a little bit, but he's back on now.
Okay.
So yeah, we have things to talk about.
Talk to us about the Master of Ceremonies album. Like I said, it came out in August. Got some real strong hip-hop vibes on there. Definitely some quality bars on there. Talk to us about the project and what all went into it.
Okay, again, because these are long stories that I could tell. But long story short, Slim Karate is a good friend of mine, man. I've known him 10, 12 years ago from the barbershop. One day, and he's a mild-mannered guy. If you ever got to meet him, he's very mild-mannered. One day he's in the barbershop getting his hair cut, and we're listening to music. Beats are playing. Beats is ill. I say, yo, this shit is dope. And I go back and check the CD, and I'm like, whose CD is this? And he says, it's mine. And I couldn't believe it, because he looks mild-mannered. He doesn't look like the hip-hop producer would look, in my opinion. So I'm like, you lying to me. You make beats, I rap. And I don't think he believed me. because of how I carry myself, right? I rap, he laughs. We exchange numbers, I go to his home, I rhyme, we become friends. This is years ago. This is when I first got put on to Jay Osceola. This is when I was just discovering, this is around the time that I first heard Wallaby. This is like early moments in my hip hop time in Columbus. I can't even, it's the era.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of people that I heard that were coming by his home. Buffalo P is another guy. Tim Rhett is another guy that was coming through, and we was just rocking. You know, we would have ciphers and just powwow on a Sunday and just rhyme. Like, he would pull out the guitar. He was practicing, teaching himself the guitar. He had his closet turned into a studio. It was just a classic hip hop story. Anyway, we lose contact. He stops coming to the barbershop. 10 years later, we link back up. He asked me, does I still rhyme? I'm like, for sure. Do you still make beats? Absolutely. We exchange numbers. I go to his crib. Now he's mastered the bass guitar.
Okay.
Now he's mastered the MPC, the turntable. Now he has mastered hip hop. And at the same time, in the same regards, and this is being as humble as I can, but I've mastered the performing arts. I've been in stage plays. I've been in movies and commercials. I've been on TV shows. I've been a barber for years and years and years and entertained the masses. I've wrote raps to shock and amaze. I've done all of these things. So then we link together, and it's like, oh, it felt good. It felt like those early hip hop experiences. You know, the real truth, where your friend is cooking up something and he plays it for you the first time, and you catch that vibe, and then you start right on the spot. These are classic hip hop moments that we created on this album. So in particular, the second song on there, which I can't remember the title, but Set It Off, the second song, that song was recorded as I was hearing the beat and as he was hearing the rap. This wasn't like a go home and write. This was like, we had finished a recording session, and he said, yo, I got this beat that I was working on this morning. I said, bullshit, I got this rap I was working on this morning. Put it on. The only other person that was in the room was my son, Benjamin. Ben was like, well, shit, you might as well record it. So I put the headphones on, right? Shout out to my son. What's up, son Dunn? He pushes play on the beat, and as I'm hearing it, that's what you hear on wax, on the album. And it's the beat, and I laugh. And then it's like, you know, we go back and record the, yo, what's up, Jay? We record all of that. But it's like, I laugh and I listen. And then as soon as the beat starts, I rhyme. And later in my rhyme, I kind of drop it and fall off. And my son is like, oh, keep going, Dad. And then I pick my rhyme back up and finish the rap. And then that's what you hear on the album, is an actual me first hearing the beat, me first, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just everything, the mistakes and all. And that's what I love about this project, is that this was an actual hip hop album. This was for real. Like, I'm over his home recording, and Veda comes over, and like, we come up with something, and he has a verse and I have a piece of it, and I go back and write, and then the next day record it and then shoot it to him. When me and Bo, it was like, yo, I got this beat from my man Tim Twice, and I don't know what to say. Bo, can you jump on? Copyright was actually the third verse that was supposed to be on Dumb Out, and the verse is still coming. It's just he had a setback in his you know, circumstances. But anyway, there's a remix version featuring Copyright MC on there. Crazy. What? Dumb Out? What? So anyway, it's like real moments. Veda Azima's on the album. My man Prometheus Wade is on the album. Oh my God. I asked Prometheus Wade because I had a verse that I wrote called Lyrical Miracle, and it was just a bunch of like lyrical flexing, and I didn't really know the direction for the song. And I reached out to two Emcees, and I'm gonna put the whole entire song together out, but Jay Cartesian is the other MC. And the only reason why I didn't put Jay Cartesian's verse on there is because Wade killed it. Like, I'm talking about, we had to cut his verse down because it was too much. Like, I asked him to kill it and he killed it. So I'm gonna release a full-length version of the song, which is probably gonna be like 8 minutes of just lyrical fury. Like, I felt like I was standing looking at the globe, if you remember on Triumph, where Jizza and Master Killer was like looking at the globe as the globe was exploding.
Yeah.
War of the Masters, the outcome disastrous. Remember that?
Yeah.
And that's how I felt when I was writing this. Was like I was writing, like, shout out to the earth painters, but it felt like I was painting the earth with my paintbrush, and it was like I was writing these lyrics out as I was saying them, right? And so those features are priceless to me. Even if this isn't a slap album full of bangers and all of that, to me, this is one of them albums that I was trying to create my whole life, which was like a fresh hip-hop album that felt good. When I listen to this, my son's voice is on it. The story that I told at the beginning was an actual dream that I had, mixed with pieces of elements that really happened in real life. Like, I truthfully seen the sky open up, and the angels actually spoke to me and told me these things. This is not no fantasy that I'm just coming up with. This ain't no science fiction. This is reality. And so when I wrote that, it was like, from the sands of the Great Lakes came a man with a straight face. You know what I mean? It was like, as I was telling my story creatively, it became reality. And then, yeah. So the way that I write is from an artist's perspective. And I link and tap in with all other artists. There's so many artists that I would like to promote and to publicize on this platform if I could, man. But there's like an endless list, because this land is full of fertile fruit, fertile ground, fertile soil. This is where it's at. There's so many artists, and the first one that comes to mind is your folks, is DJ O Sharp. O Sharp is like my man 50 Grand, like my brother for real. And the level of creativity and the level of artistry that he sees is top tier. Nicole Burton is like the greatest designer of all time, in my opinion, because I know her and the stuff that she does. Wallaby, the realest, is like the epitome. I just finished telling y'all before we start recording. Wallaby is a preacher. Wallaby is a pastor.
Yeah.
Wallaby speaks to my heart, and he speaks for me. I'll give Wallaby the microphone. That's the type of rapper I am. I'll pass Wally the mic like, yo, bless these folks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the list goes infinitely on. Again, Prometheus Wade, oh my God. My man Bo McNabo, oh my Lord. Bro, Veda Azim, like these people are amazing. Professor DJ J. Ross, and the Liquid Crystal Project, like them together, them separately. Are you kidding me? BJ Brewer, what? My girlfriend, Lola Divine, what? A perfect voice. Like Raheem, man, Fortune Over Fame, and the gear. But Marshall Shorts, like I could go 100 days with shout outs, man. So those type of people is who I really want to shine light on. And I want to be mentioned next to them. My man Kamal with Black Lives Matter, with Black Men Build. My man Kamal, like all of these individual people all collectively make us, man. And we are doing a lot of great things for not just us, but for our people. You know what I mean?
Okay. Talk about some memorable performances. Have you had any shows or anything that you've done, visually with this album that came out this year?
With this project, I've done a few shows, but when you say memorable performances, like there's one that I would like to speak on because it involves like all of my brothers that I would like to shout out. Okay. So one day, DJ O Sharp tells me, because we used to work together at the Barber shop for years. O Sharp tells me, yo, you got raps? I'm like, for sure. He like, yo, I need you to have at least like 4 or 5 rhymes ready for the Monday Night Mashup, back when he was doing Pulse Radio podcast, the Monday Night Mashup. He was like, yeah, I'm gonna have all the best Emcees, so you better come with it. He tried to put the pressure on me, right? And I love that because it makes diamonds. So I show up to the podcast that Monday with 11 raps, and not like 11 16s, like 11 aces, like endless bars. And then the way that I write, I can connect this to that, and I can just kick all 11 back to back for a long time, right? So anyway, I show up to the radio station, and at the radio station, it's copyright. It's Veda Azim. It's Kaleem Musa. There's Illogic. Okay. I think. No, it wasn't. I'm sorry. It was not Illogic. It was Cario. It was Zero Star. Cario. It was Ness Words. God bless. Ness Words was there. It was Rasul Elder. Armand Wake Up was there. Are you kidding me? And Columbus Knicks was supposed to be there.
Okay.
Columbus was supposed to be there, man. God bless. Big turn.
That's on YouTube, isn't it?
I don't think so. If it is, I would like to get a copy of that, and I want to release these things. That's why I'm saying this. My best performance and my most memorable performance was not on stage. It was actually in a radio station, and O had a cipher, but it was cipher week for the whole radio station. So all the different shows that on their radio station had their own cipher. So Familiar Faces Radio with DJ Duro and Leon and them had their cipher, and then the other people had their cipher. Everybody had a cipher. But O's was going to be the one. He had the best rappers of the best rappers. I'm making sure I didn't forget anybody. Paz 2 was DJing.
Okay.
O put the beat on, and all of us did our thing. And it's such a beautiful piece to listen to. If you listen to it, it's in entirety, because like I said, Ness Words is on it. And, you know, because we lost him, it's like to hear his voice and to hear him not even rapping, because he's actually talking throughout it as well. So to just hear that interaction and all of us together in the studio cheering each other on, all of our voices sound younger than it does now. So that was a moment in time that I was blessed to be a part of, and I shined. I got on there and I rapped, and I went for mine, and I really established who I was as an artist and as an MC. And it's like I'm not a background dude. And so me being able to rap with heavyweight giants, like each one of them MCs is a heavyweight giant. For me to be able to hold my own and then shine was like one of the greatest days of my life. And I'll never forget it. And I took a picture that day with me, Veda, Ness Words, Rasul, and Kaleem. That is a prized possession to me.
That's dope.
And also shout out to Dominique LaRue. I've been knowing her for years and years, since her rap name was Intellect, and she's always been a dog to and I hate to just use like female MC. She's an ill MC, period.
Yeah.
What? What?
Now, when it comes to Columbus, do you believe Columbus has its own style?
Ha, I'm glad you asked me that. So look, again, I was born in Illinois. I'm from Kirk Park, Waukegan, Illinois. I'm from a different place altogether, like a whole nother planet. So to be able to live here and have been living here since 2001, I see things in Columbus that I don't think Columbus sees in themselves. So I see the potential. It's almost like a beautiful woman that doesn't know she's beautiful. Like if you just took your glasses off and let your ponytail down, oh my God, you would look like her. And I think Columbus is kind of not sure of themselves. And this is just from the outside perspective. I go places and I represent Ohio stronger than Ohio people represent Ohio. And I don't like that. You know what I mean? So what I see in Columbus is all of the positive. People tell me the negative, such and such don't mess with such and such. These people act like this, it's cliquish, all of that. And I'm like, yeah, anyway though. But do y'all see the culture that's here? Like you almost have little Africa up north.
Yeah.
Like to be able to tap into your African roots and you can just shoot to the north side of the city is a blessing. Where I'm from, there are no Africans. Where I'm from, it's all Mexican. And that is not my heritage. So where I'm from, black people can speak Spanish and they can buy tacos and they know what to do. And this, they know the holidays, and it's a Mexican culture. But here, it's an African culture. And then it's not just one specific section of Africa. It's the entire continent of Africa. There's West Africans here. There's East Africans here. There's Northern Africans. There's everybody here. So for me, being able to like go to a certain part of town and buy and spend money with African people is a blessing, in my opinion. That is something that like we should embrace. I don't like the segregation and the separation between black and the African population. Yeah. I would like for us to all come together as black, and I'm not just saying black like race is black. I'm saying black like culture black. Like we should ingratiate ourselves with African culture, and we can do so in this city. Plus the hip hop is rich here. Yeah. Rich here. Having Mixed Master Ice and J Raw's here and Blueprint here and Copyright here and Rashad Thomas here. Bro, are you crazy? And Storm 9000 here. And man, we have like legends here. And so I really wish that Columbus would just take their ponytail down and take their glasses off and look around and be like, man, we got it. We can all rock Fortune Over Fame clothing and go to the J. Raw's Liquid Crystal Project jazz set, and we can all buy Nicole Burton furniture and put it in our cribs and get murals, and then we can all be maroons and go pour and invest back into Bronzeville. Are you crazy? We have it here. We have the artists. We have the culture. Yo, we can go watch an O. Winston movie in the movie theater right now. Are you crazy? We have people that we can support here, man. So do your job and support your own, man. Uplift yourself. These are the bootstraps that we need to pull ourselves up under. We have the culture here, man. If we was to just recognize how beautiful we are, you know.
Can you talk to us about your musical inspirations? Like, what MCs growing up inspired you?
So again, my musical inspiration comes from, like, I can just give you examples. I saw Greg Nice from Nice and Smooth, real life, at the barbershop.
Okay.
Nice and Smooth came to the barbershop because they had a show at Scully's later that night. Greg Nice, his brother-in-law, was a good friend of mine, Brother Starks. Starks brought Nice and Smooth to the barbershop. Smooth B, his hair looked crazy. He needed his hair braided like 2 weeks ago and still hadn't got it braided, so he needed a braider. And Greg Nice was getting his hair cut by my man Reese. That's the same day, and I thank God for this moment, that's the same day that Shaq dissed Kobe on the microphone and was like, Kobe, how my ass tastes. Oh, and like lit Kobe up. So we watching that moment on ESPN. Greg Nice turns around in the barber chair and was like, that's hip hop right there. Shaq dissed Kobe and starts losing his mind. He had us dying laughing. Him and Smooth B had us rolling. Smooth B was bugged out. He needed his hair braided. He was like, fuck it, I'm just going to put my hat on this way. That way they can't see me. We was dying laughing. But anyway, got the chance to kick it with Greg Nice and Smooth B from Nice and Smooth. Then later that night, they gave us tickets to go to the show. And we get to the show. Greg Nice don't have on a hoodie and a jacket, and he ain't trying to be no rapper. Greg Nice has on a vest, a hat, button-down shirt. He looked like Cedric the Entertainer off Kings of Comedy. He runs out on stage. He's already sweating when he runs out on stage. Like when he gets on stage, he's already sweating. He gets on, and the energy got higher and higher and higher as the show progressed. And he came out like running on stage sweating. And I learned a very valuable lesson from Greg Nice, who is now one of my favorite MCs. Dougie Fresh, favorite MC. People that can perform, favorite MCs. I learned from Greg Nice that day that you can do all of that rapping and tapping and all of that babbling, but if the people can't hear you, feel you, understand you, did you really do your job, or was that in vain?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Did you do that for yourself? You was on stage trying to be the greatest MC that you could ever be, and nobody wants to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
People want to feel something. So when I make these songs, and I'm gonna play these songs for y'all too, man, before I leave, because I want y'all to hear me. But when I put my music out, I don't just want to just be rapping for the sake of rapping. I want to talk to that one person. I want to talk to the person in the back that's scared to come to the front. Hey, yo, you. I want to talk to myself. I want myself to feel something when I get off stage. Like, damn. I want to go back in time in my mind and be like, damn, I did say that. Damn, I do miss these people. Damn, I am angry right now. You know what I'm saying? I really want to convey emotion and feeling.
Sure.
So I learned that from Greg Nice, man. Greg Nice gave emotion, and the people had a great show. I went and seen them rap, and they rap simplistically if you are trying to be technical, but their words are more impactful than, say, a Cannabis. I've seen Cannabis get on stage and get booed.
Yeah.
I've seen Cannabis get on stage and drop the microphone and kick it and blow on it trying to pick it up. I've seen Cannabis have a horrible show, and he's one of the greatest lyricists of all time.
Yeah.
But Greg Nice got up and rocked the party. Slick Rick got up, not Slick Rick, but Dougie Fresh got up with a harmonica and had women screaming. So hip hop is real, and all of that fakeness is fake. that all of that artistry is fake. You know what I mean? People will put on in front, but I like the real. So Greg Nice is one of my favorites for that reason. I seen him do a lot with a little.
Now you mentioned some of the Columbus legends. How long exactly have you been doing the music? Like as far as like officially putting out projects?
So officially, I've been doing it since last year.
Okay.
Last year was the first thing that, well, I had a mixtape maybe in 2009, 2010. I had a mixtape and a few people got it, but it wasn't like, I didn't perform it. I just put out some freestyles. But this was an actual conceptual project, this Master of Ceremonies. And then everything else that I have coming from here is going to have art and videos, and I'm actually going to do it.
Trying to push it.
So I just turned 40 July 3rd of last summer, and so I'm saying like, now that I'm 40, I can start my rap career, which sounds crazy, but if you know what I know, this is perfect timing.
We've had a lot of guests on here recently that have talked about that, where there's no expiration date, and like the older barriers, like the thoughts on hip hop were like it was more of a young man's sport that's like really fading away and not being a thing anymore. We're seeing like hip hop legends and a lot of, you know, older cast of artists come into the picture and really have successful careers. So that's kind of cool to hear that. Honestly, it's really in alignment with a lot of what we've heard lately.
If I can take a minute to get into my rapper character, like I feel like if you feel like that, it's because you're a bum, and bums feel like that. I think if you think that you're too old to do something, then you can't, and you are. You know what I'm saying? But if you have life, then there's nothing that can dim that. So the oldest people that I know have the brightest spirits. Like I don't know any old 90-year-old, 80-year-old person that's just down in the, nah, it's a life and a light that you can see in their eyes. And I think that for those people that have light, they like to share their light. If you've seen it in Wallaby's eyes, and I know you did because I watched it, Wallaby has a vibration that is different than everybody else. He's moving at a higher level. You know what I'm saying? So when I see Wallaby, even if I'm in a bad mood, like, all right, I'm motivated now. I'm about to, all right, well, shit, let me get up and go, let me get moving, because I know Wallaby is moving like that.
Yeah, for sure.
So
rub off on you.
That's what I'm saying. There's no way that he would ever feel like, oh, I'm too old to be doing this. If he wasn't rapping, he would be speaking to somebody somehow. If he's too old to rap, that's because he's a preacher now and he has a congregation. But he would never stop delivering the message because it's a God-given ability that we all have. So that's why I said the word whack. If you were one of those people that think you're too old to rap, it's because you were rapping for the wrong reasons. It wasn't because you were from a higher infinite power that was here to heal our people. It's because that you were trying to make a money or trying to make a dollar, trying to get a check, and now you're too old to be marketable.
Can't keep up with the trends no more.
Feel me?
That's all it is.
Because your music ain't selling, so you stop. But nah, the real ones is really doing it. I bet you right now Rashad Thomas is cooking up. I bet you.
That's real. I mean, shoot, Snoop and Dre just dropped the album
cooking
together.
up.
You know
I bet you.
Like,
if you're an MC, you're an MC, whether somebody's
it.
watching or not.
That's
I rap in the shower. I rap in the mirror. You know what I mean? I even told bro, I was like, man, just ask me questions so I'll just get on and start rambling. I'm a barber. That's what I do. I chop it up. That's why all the real rappers know. I'm the rapper's rapper. All the rappers know me. And they've seen me in many different settings, many different ciphers. Shout out to the homie Scopes. Shout out to Scopes, man. Big dog. Yeah, it's a lot of big dogs. Stitch them up. All the battle MCs. All the battle MCs. Oh my God. Columbus Knicks. What's up, Turn? Q Nemesis. These are monsters for real, like real live goats. You know what I mean? That nobody wants to see. And so shout out to all of these great MCs and individuals that are here putting it down.
Now you mentioned Barber, being a barber. Can you talk about the balance of being a barber, MC, and founder?
So what I learned from being a barber and trying to balance MC and father and just all around like solid brother was that it takes just that and it's balance. So me being at the barbershop, I don't look at it as a job. I look at it as more like ministry, honestly. And this is my job, is to serve. I'm a servant, you know. So the same way somebody would be trimming toenails and grooming you and making sure that, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I do. And it's not really a glamorous job. It just looks cool culturally because we getting money and we hanging out and we can dress however we want, and but truthfully, like, we're all servants. Like, I trim nose hairs and ear hairs and back hairs for a living. Like, so I serve, and in doing that, like, my job is never done, and it's more gratifying to be able to serve than it is to get paid to serve, if that makes sense. And that's, to me, like, a very humbling job. Like, there are some jobs that you do that are humbling. Like, people that I know that are in education don't get paid enough for what they do, because you really have a concern for the people that you're teaching. Like, everyone that I know is in education loves the people, loves the children that they educate. Even up to Ross, that's a college professor. Like, you have relationships with these students. So it's beyond just going to work and getting a check. And I feel the same way. It's people hair that I've been cutting since before they were even born, bro. There's this another young lady, Sade Harbison, who's an author. She has a children's book line that is a blessing. It was a God-given blessing to her. And I remember when she came in the barbershop and said that she was going to start making children's books, and then she did it. And 4 books later, here she is, a successful author. But Sade came into the barbershop, and when I first met her, she just had her one son, Diego. And now she has 3 sons. And so I've been cutting all of their hair all of their life. And to me, that is that's worth more than $1 million. So it was honestly easy to balance all of that once I realized what my job position and what my title was in the community, what my role was in the community. As a servant, it's easy. See, and I'm gonna use Wallaby as another example because I love that brother, and I just watched his podcast episode with y'all. But he has a specific job that he does. He'll say he's a hustler, but that's like an overview. I can consider myself a hustler too, but that's a generalization. Well, Wallaby is a preacher, like a speaker of the word, a motivator of the people, and he speaks prophetically. He does all of these things because of who he truly is. So in rap, he'll look like that hustler that's selling CDs out the trunk. But if he was to get into ministry, he would look like that pastor that's like healing people. He would be the one with the pantry that's going out into the community. He would be the one that's stopping violence in his neighborhood. He would be the one that's cutting the grass at the church. You know what I'm saying? Because he's that person. I'm the same way. I would be like the deacon, where it's like I don't need to be on stage praying for the people, because really I don't want to do all of that. It's a lot that comes with role of pastor.
For sure.
But I got the keys to the church, and I'm going to lock it and unlock it. I'm going to shovel in the driveway, and I'm going to walk sister girl to their car, and we can gas up the church bus and stuff like that. That's my role in the community, though, is to serve. Like, however I can be used, that's how I want to be used. So today, right now, there's so many people that are doing so much, and I support all of these. Man, it's restaurants that I ain't even get a chance to talk about. What? Fish burgers? What? Man, oh my goodness, man. What? There's vegan. Willoughby Soul Veg? Are you kidding me? Man, we should just do a whole B-roll clip of just shout outs. Are you crazy? God, man. So there's so many people that I want to help and publicize and put on and just blow up. And if I could, man, I want to use this time to motivate the city, man. Really tap into each other, man, and tap into yourselves, man. Like, pull from yourself, promote yourself. Like, go outside today and be who you supposed to be. Call your folks that you think about and reach out to your people. Establish relationships, repair relationships. There's so many feuds and beefs and little squabbles that can just be deaded with a simple apology, a simple, this was a misunderstanding and I'm sorry. And there could be so much done in this city, man. We have like political power. There's black mayors. There's black, we have a black police chief that is she's taking shots, but oh my God, she's doing her job. I know her personally, she's doing her job. Mayor Michael Bivens in Whitehall taking shots personally, and I know him, he's doing his job. There's 100 black men organization, and we are trying to make moves. And man, there's too many moves to be made. 100 black men build, Maroon Arts Group. If you really was about that life, you would be tapped into your city. The Columbus Urban League, you would be tapped into your city. There's too many avenues for you to make a difference. So I think with that 2024, I guess, motto of come to the truth, like come to light, how everything is just coming to light, like let that be the truth. If you really say you about uplifting your people, if you really say you about hip hop, if you really say you about positivity in this culture and in this real world, and you're not a vulture and you're not just taking from your people, if you really on that righteous side and on the righteous path, then let that be known. Like really draw the line in the ground and say which side you on. Because I think you will be surprised how many people are on your side, man. There's so many people that are doing righteous and doing good in just this city. We're not talking about the whole state. I'm talking about in just Columbus. There's so much. I had an idea, and I'm sharing this because I'm talking on the podcast. Okay. I had an idea. We should get a petition. Remember when all that mess happened and they was trying to they was defaming the Columbus statues, and it was just like, it was just the world was upside down during the pandemic. I thought it was really like the future coming to pass. But we should continue that methodology of thinking. We should continue that. We should change the name of this city. Nobody agrees with Columbus. Nobody likes Columbus. Christopher Columbus was a savage, and we don't believe in none of those ideas that those people had present day. They were defaming the statues for a reason. Christopher Columbus does not represent us, and that is why we don't have identity. Is because when people say Columbus, it gives him glory, and we don't want him to have glory. So my proposal is that we change the name of this city. We can do it. It can just be within us, and we just start a nickname. But I think that we can petition this name to get changed in the same way that everybody else has rights. I think that indigenous native people to this land and people that are from that lineage have a problem with Columbus's name being written on their paraphernalia, on their maps. You know what I'm saying? So I don't agree with that name Columbus, and I would petition it, and I would make a first ballot vote for it to be called Garvey, Ohio. I think Garvey is solid, and it says the opposite of what that was saying. That's just my personal opinion. We can call it something else. We can call it Capital, Ohio. Anything but Columbus. And I believe that everybody believes the same thing. Columbus is not a good representation of us. That's why when we go out and we tell people we from Columbus, it don't sound too cool. If I tell people I'm from the D or I'm from the A or I'm from LA, that sounds cool. But I'm from the CO, I'm from Columbus, it don't sound as cool.
Not yet, at least, though.
We'll have to
once we turn
that
up, though. That's all it is to it. At the end of the day, Atlanta wasn't always Atlanta until they made it Atlanta.
Yeah, but Atlanta comes from somewhere. Atlantis.
Nah, I get that part, but once we start really putting on for this city, we'll change the narrative on what Columbus mean, though, too. We got the power to change what that mean without the word per se. Like you look at like the Cleveland Indians, now they're the Cleveland Guardians. There's a lot of people who feel like Guardians don't hit like how the Indians did. Even though they understand like what it's about, they still feel like that word right there really didn't bother me all like that. Guardians sound like we trying to pretend like it's not what it was. Some people feel like that too. I'm originally from Cleveland, so people got opinions about that too. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like mixed. You know what I mean?
So when you go places, like how cool is it to say I'm from Columbus? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, for me, like it ain't like my thing is I'm from. I never been ashamed of where I'm from. Like just because my city not like a major, well-known metropolitan, like I don't feel like I'm not cool because I'm from there. Like I feel like shit, Columbus got more going on than any other city in this state. I'd rather be from Columbus than any other. If I had like
nationally, but in this state like Columbus,
this got more motion than anywhere else in this border. So it's like. What I got to be ashamed of? I'm from the capital. Sure. You know what's going on with Buckeye Nation. When I go anywhere else, they may not think Columbus cool. You motherfuckers know about Buckeye Nation though. You know what I'm saying? You gonna respect them Buckeyes though. Like we represent, bro. Like we not lame like that. I think it's just because our own people wasn't feeling like that. You know what I'm saying? Like on the outside looking in, like you were saying. On the outside looking in, bro, you see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But like for people who always from here, and we used to say this a lot when we first started, like people who are from here, they ain't left the city enough. When you leave, go live somewhere else, and then come back to the city, you'll really respect what Columbus got going on for real. I done lived out of state too. I'm like, nah, this really my city though.
And that's why them other cities have that unity, because they know. Detroit know, like, yeah, we go places, but ain't nobody harder than us.
You feel me?
They know that. Chicago know, like, yeah,
it's
LA,
a lot of
Houston, but
it's a lot of lame stuff about the D. You feel me? They got like bandos just like the next city and stuff do, but they stick together though. They represent though. You know what I'm saying? They don't let that be the representation of the whole city.
You can survive in just Detroit.
Yeah.
You can really just be in Detroit and be all right. You don't have to leave. Everybody else comes to Detroit.
Facts.
So we got it to where we can really just keep to ourselves and grow our own stuff, and then everybody else attack.
Peep game. We already a melting pot. Everybody already want to come here. You know what I'm saying? They've been wanting to come here.
Especially from the state itself. Like how many Cleveland plants and Cincinnati plants and Youngstown plants do you know that live here now?
You know what I'm saying? We got so much Michigan that live here now. It's a lot of Illinois that's starting to pour over here. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, all the different African cultures that's here. We got an Asian population here. We got a huge Hispanic population here. We got just about every ethnicity's festival come summertime. You know what I'm saying? Like we really do got everything for real. Like this the city, man. It's on the way though. I think like you're saying, like we just need the right representation.
We need to blow each other up. So I'm glad to see. There's a story that I like to share, and Raheem told me this. They were on the Jimmy Fallon show, and J. Rawls and Talib Kweli were debuting the new single from the album. So Raheem was already in New York because he was going to meet Black Thought to drop off some gear, some Fortune Over Fame gear. So Black Thought was like, yo, why don't you come to the Tonight Show? He's like, bet. Not knowing that Raheem and J. Rawls knows each other. So J. Rawls is in the break room with Talib Kweli, and they getting ready. In walks Raheem with Fortune Over Fame gear, some brand new Native Sons gear. So Rawls is like, yo, what you doing here? Such and such. I ain't even. Raheem was like, nah, I was already up here with Thought.
Yeah.
That's how I want us to be, like, metaphorically. I want us to be, like, already on, and then somebody else is already getting on, and then it's like, now we can recognize each other.
Yes, sir.
We just need to make our mark.
Yes,
Shout out again to my man O. Winston that's doing movies. I do a couple little acting situations here and there. I do a lot, bro. I
was going to talk about that too.
Yeah, I do poetry and everything.
Yeah.
But so when I see O and O can put me in a position to shine, then it's like, now we can, man, it's too much all happening at the same time. I can feel the ingredients starting to mix together and come together, and I just see, like, in another 5-10 years, everybody's gonna be acting like us. They gonna want to come here to find the funk. They gonna want to come here to learn how to skate, bro. They gonna want to come here to get the sauce.
Now you mentioned the movie, so we got to stay on that for a minute. We know about the Mirrors, Shadows, and Lights film you got coming up. We saw it coming soon. So is there anything that you can share about it? I know it's still coming soon, but
so it's actually out. We put it on YouTube because we were gonna do a bunch of stuff with it.
Okay.
But it's like, man, just put it out how it is.
So it's like
let's do something else.
Short film vibes.
This is how it came about. So I was already doing this TV show with my man Ademola Richards. I was already doing the TV show with him. So one day after rehearsal, we're having a conversation in the parking lot. He's very African, right? He got a thick accent, right? So he's telling me about this situation that he gets into with this guy, this white guy. And I'm telling him my history dealing with white guys. So we both have a similar situation about how we were disrespected, and the narrative was turned to where we almost deserved it. Like, well, if you weren't so black, then I wouldn't have disrespected you, basically. So we both were sharing that. He stops me in the middle of my conversation. Hold that thought. I'm gonna call you tomorrow. He runs in his house, writes the entire script for Mirrors, Shadows, and Light. Calls me the next day, emails me the script that he wrote that night off of what we talked about. 3 months after that, we were wrapping up filming. I like working with Ademola because of the same reason, like I was telling you about Season Opportunity. Ademola, I had the idea, wrote the idea fully out, sent me the rough draft. I'm talking about lights, extras, movie set, cameras, everything, hors d'oeuvres and snacks. shot the short film, and was done in 3 months' time.
Nice.
And so I like working with the brother because he works like that. It doesn't have to be drawn out. It doesn't have to be perfect. We can improvise a little bit. So this, instead of making this perfect and editing it to perfection, we just wanted to tell the story that black people aren't always ignorant niggas. You know? And I hate that misconception that black people is niggas, and we not. Everybody don't like to party and barbecue and play basketball and smoke weed and beat their baby mama. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the narrative that we trying to tell. So in that scenario, it was a brother, me, and he was really a writer and was going to college and everything, and was writing and was intelligent and everything, and he was patient and everything, but the way that it was perceived is that he was some nigga. And so the tension was already there before he even arrived. The prejudice was already there.
Right.
So it wasn't really a point to it other than to show how ridiculous it looks. Like, just because he's a black man doesn't mean he's a nigga.
How long is the film?
Maybe like 20, 30 minutes.
Okay.
Just something that we shot real quick.
Solid. But
it was something to do, and he's telling me, this is a Demolage telling me, like, you were an artist and you need to get out. You were an actor and you need to get out. So let me just make something for you to be out so you can have something in your portfolio.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. In the last 2 or 3 years, I've been getting serious about all of my crafts and been wanting to take them all serious. I've been talking to John Gibson, brother JG the Juggernaut, about doing spoken word poetry. God bless that brother. Again, another great Emmy award winning poet. Are you crazy? So he's telling me, like, man, just get up and do it. Just get up and speak your piece. It don't have to be this. It don't have to be that. People like you because of who you are. My man Wally Crowder is telling me the same thing. Yeah, I'll talk about that in a minute. But Wally is telling me the same thing. Mr. Nice Guy, another great poet, is telling me the same thing. Just get up and be yourself. You don't have to be a poet. You don't have to be a rapper. You can just be yourself. You don't have to. I might even do comedy next year.
Yeah. Okay.
Just because I feel funny sometimes and I have great stories to tell.
Run it.
So I don't have to be anything. I can just be myself as an artist. And I want to say that to inspire the same people that are like me. Not even just the kids, but the grown-ass adults that are scared to step up and be themselves. You can start today. If you have a 16 that you want to kick to the people and see what people think about your new music, kick that shit today. If you want to start your sewing company, because there's not a lot of people doing, tapestry, then you can do that and you can get it going. If you want to make earrings and sell them. I know kids that have businesses. Shout out to the Lemonade Boys. My man Derek Thompson, Devo. He got boys that got their own lemonade business and they are hustling. You see what I'm saying? Making real bread as kids with bank accounts, putting it away. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, long story short, just believe in yourself, man. Columbus, I wish we all could stand up and mob together.
What's something that resonates with all Columbus people besides the Buckeyes? You've been here long enough, so you probably got a good idea now.
I would say art.
Okay.
That's the first thing that comes into my mind is Columbus is rich in art, and I feel like most of us somehow, some way are connected to the art community. Somehow, some way.
Do you have a memorable story of growing up in Columbus, like once you moved here? Like any
like the early few years of being here, was there anything that was like different from where you came from?
I don't know, but when I first moved here was like the last couple years of coming home, the block party, and just the elements of how the block party was when I first got here. I know Cameron and Dipset was big in the city, and they had a shootout tournament at the Hoop on 5th, and it was like a big deal. Like everybody was there, and it was the radio station was there, and Dipset was in town, and everybody was talking about Freaky Zeke was here, and Black Child, and all these folks from Murder Inc. And it was like the city felt like something that I never been to a city like Columbus. I love Columbus, and being from close by Chicago, Waukegan, and being in all of these places that I lived. I didn't live in Germany. I lived overseas, Texas, Georgia, Alabama. I done lived everywhere, bro.
Mhm.
But Columbus just has an identity and a feeling and a vibration that I am attracted to.
See, going to all those different cities right there you mentioned, like living in those places, that's why you can really appreciate what Columbus got to
Yeah.
offer. You got to see like what other vibes other cities have.
I've lived a
be
lot
able
of
to peep.
places.
Yeah, that's the difference. That's where it comes from.
A thing that I want to say, when I first got here, if you ask me a memorable feeling, when I first got here, because where I was from in Missouri, it was like military base.
So were you close to St. Louis, or you were like deep in Missouri?
We was like, yeah, deep in the country,
Okay.
like Klan.
Okay.
Yeah, Missouri is the most racist state that I've lived.
No, once
I've
you
lived
get
in-
past St. Louis, you ain't gonna see no black folks
Man,
like
I
that.
lived in Texas, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi. Nowhere is more racist than Missouri.
Really?
But anyway, we were like off of the military base, but it was in rural Missouri,
In the sticks,
like
yeah.
in the sticks, right?
Mhm.
So, damn, I forgot what I was saying, but when
You
I
said
go,
the
yeah,
feeling.
when I moved here,
Yeah.
when I left there, it was like military and white.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like hillbilly white.
The sticks. Yeah.
Right? So when I moved here, it's multicultural.
Mm.
Where I was, there was one African kid at the school and like 2 Asian kids.
Oh man, yeah.
Here, there's a group of Ethiopians. There's a group of Nigerian.
Mhm.
There's a group of Ghanaian. Then there's a big population of Hispanics, and there's a little bit of, it was so multicultural. Then it was white people, but they wasn't like hillbilly white. They was like normal white people,
Mhm.
you know, like,
From the city.
yeah, like suburban white people. So it wasn't it was just different. It was different people altogether.
Yeah, I feel
And
that.
I didn't know what to expect coming to Ohio like that. I didn't really know what to imagine. So when I got here, I was really impressed, to say the least, that there was such a diverse culture here.
Yeah.
What do you think the biggest lie about the state is?
The biggest lie about the state, I don't know. I don't know the lies about the state. I'm
Like some people say we don't support each other. Some people say that what's some of the other stuff people say, that it's only the Buckeyes here, like stuff like that.
this is a misconception that I think people don't really know which part of the country Ohio belongs to.
Yeah, that's true too.
Ohio can be perceived as
It's Midwest, baby.
Eastern,
Yeah,
Midwestern, but then what is Midwestern?
you're right. Well, Midwest is, I mean, like, it's Missouri's in the Midwest too. You know what I mean? Like all that. It's
But
like
Midwest, Missouri makes it a point to
We the South.
they're Southern.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
If you know people from Missouri, they don't even
Yeah,
say
yeah.
Missouri. They say Missouri.
And you're right though. It's like, you know, it's imaginary lines anyway. But,
Yeah, and it's
yeah,
Missouri is the.
yeah.
I'm telling you, they
'Cause it's-
just like Virginia. Virginia makes it a point to let you know we're the South.
Mhm. And St. Louis is kind of like soon as you first really get in Missouri, so like they do got the Midwest
right on
vibes,
the
but
Mississippi
like the
River.
rest of the. But honestly, though, we being real, like all the metros in the Midwest are like that. It's like the city is completely different from the rest of the state.
Chicago too.
Chicago's like that.
Yep.
I mean, Atlanta like that. The people in Georgia will tell
Indianapolis.
you. You know what I mean? It's all like that. So it's like,
So with that said,
You know.
I think that the thing with Ohio is that there's rich Southern roots here.
for sure.
Like if you know the history of our people,
This is a landing place.
this is where they go.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
yeah.
it's like Ohio, then
You got-
Canada. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? If you ain't hitting Michigan, you hitting the Great Lakes, and then you in Canada.
Yes, sir.
So this is where they was coming. So Cincinnati, down there at the state line, right there, Cincinnati and Kentucky, was great battles and great history about slaves coming up and people hiding slaves and us trying to make it through there with the Underground Railroad.
Yes, sir.
So it was like a rich culture of Southern, like,
Yeah, we got a lot of Alabama, like especially in Cleveland, we got a lot of Alabama up there. I know Chicago got a lot of Missouri.
yeah.
It's some place. It's like a lot of real popular landing places.
To
you
me,
know?
Cincinnati is country than the mud.
Yeah.
Oh, it's way different from here.
Yo,
Yeah, it's way different.
Cincinnati is country
Yeah,
to me.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think the misconception is that, well, maybe not a misconception. I think the confusion is like, what team does Ohio go to? Are we the Southern team? Is it East? Are we Midwestern? And then what is Midwestern? You know what I'm saying? Because Chicago, Detroit, to me, that's the South.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As north as we are, that's the South. Cleveland.
As far as like what do you mean by that?
Everybody that I know in my family is from Mississippi and Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother's side is from Southern Illinois, but that's like off the Mississippi River. Like all of the Southern roots and traditions flow freely through Chicago. Like all the people I know from Chicago is country.
Yeah, I mean that's real. That's what they, like I said, that's the migration. But like over time though, you feel like it's really prevalent like that.
And that's what I'm saying. It's culture.
Mm-hmm.
So Chicago isn't a southern city, but Chicago has southern roots.
For sure. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, most definitely.
And I believe that Columbus is the same way.
Yeah.
Columbus is not a southern city by far. It's not east. It's not any of that. But how many people do you know that's from here that has parents that are from somewhere else? Southern.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So I think that the identity needs to happen to where like black culture needs to evolve as far as we are concerned. Like this is the future now. So we can't keep doing what we used to. We have to do something different.
Sure.
And what does that look like? It looks like what the Maroons are doing with
Mount Vernon.
yeah, like that is the future of this city. The future of this city is to now carve out a space where we can dwell and prosper. Like how the Jewish people have Bexley. Like how the Irish people have Dublin. We need to have our own place to where we can call home.
Sure we do. It's called the North Side.
Facts. Big facts. Big
Head to
facts.
161. You know what I'm saying? Top of Morse, you're going to see
Morse
what the fuck
Road.
going on. You know what I'm saying? Head down Cleveland, you want to see what the
Facts.
fuck going on. We out here. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
Nah, but you real. I mean, I know
agree.
exactly what you mean as far as like a real pocket, like a spot on the map. That's for sure. That's our
Historically,
area.
we had it with Bronzeville, and then we all know the history of how they cut us off with the freeways and segregated us and just kept us from everything.
Yeah.
But historically, it's Bronzeville and that Mamie Moore area, that King Lincoln district.
Yeah.
Like that's ours.
I mean, we actually have a place in the city called Africa. It's like right up there. I think it's like right above Westerville, up there by the dam.
For real?
Yeah, it's called Africa.
By what is
I
it?
didn't know that.
Yeah, it's actually called Africa. Now, granted, what's all there? It's not like a heavily populated area. You check the map though. We got Africa in the city. It's just on the north side by the water.
Facts.
Real talk. Now you big on the barbershop. That's where most people probably know you from, or where they can find you at least. So you want to shout out the barbershop location?
Oh yeah. So listen, 417 Agler Road, Gahanna, Ohio.
Okay.
You are going to come to a barbershop that is rich in culture and history in that neighborhood. We've been there for 20 years. The shop was founded in 2004 by the brother Philip Wade, and he sold it to Maurice Burton, who is now the current owner. I've been working there 17 years. That's where I met some of the greatest people that I've ever met in my life. I have great friendships with them brothers, and we do excellent work in the community, man. We do a lot, man. I've raised generations now, you know what I mean? So I've been there for quite some time, and I want to give a special shout out to the whole Agler Green, Somerset area, the whole west side of Gahanna, that whole neighborhood, Gahanna Lincoln, Royal Manor, Elementary School, like Middle School West. Like, God bless those communities. God bless the whole entire like northeast side of Columbus, man, for just giving me an opportunity to feed my family, man. I owe a lot to those two communities, man. And anytime I can do anything to help, I'm always here. But 417 Agler Road, come get a fresh fade. Different Strokes Barbershop. Bro, you go there.
Yeah, I go
you know
there.
what I'm saying?
Shout out to Cash.
Shout out to the homie Cash Money, man. We doing it. So it's something else that I want to say. I want to give a shout out to somebody else, and I can't remember. But yeah, just God bless the barbershop, man. Come see us, come pay us a visit. Even if you're not coming to get your hair cut, just pop in and say, hey, man, drop off some flyers and just stimulate the economy, man. Let's keep this black dollar circulating. Man.
For sure. Money's only good as long as it's in circulation.
Big facts.
As far as like what booking and stuff goes, are you like on Booksy, Style C? How they go about just walk-ins? What's your, you know, for those who that don't know, they might want to get a cut. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm from the old school. I bought business cards. One time when I first graduated barber school, I bought 1,000 business cards, and I promised every single person that I gave a card to came and got a haircut, and I never got business cards again. But I'm not really with all of the technology that comes with. I kind of old school, man. I'm not gonna do too much. call my phone,
Mhm.
hit me, 614-537-6996. My name is Jay. The barbershop phone number, 472-3600. It's always been the same. But yeah, really just reach out and get with me. You can hit me on Facebook or Instagram and hit me on Messenger at _Jeremiah 1000 on Instagram, and my name is Jeremiah Williams on Facebook. But for the most part, man, word of mouth is how my name spread. Hopefully I have a good reputation with those that know me and don't know me, but I try to be a solid person. It's not really about the money, so if you short on cash, I can work with you, man. I'll show you some love because I really value the business and I value to be able to serve. So if you're looking for a barbershop home and you haven't found one yet, come to Different Strokes Barbershop, man. Come get a fade.
For sure.
Do you have a message for the Columbus youth?
Yes. The message for the youth is, let me think. Really, I want to piggyback off what Wallaby said is knowing your worth and knowing your value. Like, know who you are.
Yeah.
Like, in real life, a lot of times this world their intention is to beat you down and to strip you of your knowledge of who you are and how strong you really are.
Yeah.
And I believe that that's how the world has tried to do us. There's an old parable of training an elephant, and elephants have such a great memory that an elephant was tied to a tree, and it wasn't even for that long, like maybe a year. I can't remember the exact parable, but the elephant was tied to the tree for so long that when the chain was removed, the elephant still thought that he was tied to the tree. And he never left that tree because he thought that he was tied, because he was raised to believe that. And I think that that's how they have us now, is that we are taught that we are poor and we are not equal and we are less than, and we are really 3/5 of a human being, and we really come from slavery. And because we feel like that, we are so happy to just get $1 that we don't realize that we can really make as much as we need, and we can have as much as we need it if we were to just realize our true potential. So knowing your worth is the message that I want to piggyback off of what Wallaby said, is know who you are. And if you believe in your heart that you are chosen by God to deliver a message, then deliver that message. Don't let this world tell you that you aren't who you know you are. Don't let this world dim your light at all. So continue to be who you are, know your worth, and don't dim your light for nobody.
Give us your top 5.
Top 5 MCs?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Top 5 MCs. Tupac Shakur. KRS-One.
Mm-hmm.
These are my favorite MCs.
Yeah, that's what's
These aren't your favorite. These are my favorite.
Favorites.
Tupac,
Mm-hmm.
KRS-One, Kendrick Lamar, Ghostface Killer, Nas.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Good.
That's
Say
solid.
what I said.
Solid.
Yeah, that's solid right there.
Who are some of the Columbus artists that you haven't worked with that you want to work with? You can shout them all out.
Necessary. My man Carnell Willoughby from Spirit. I love that brother, and I really just want to hear him rap. So that's what it would be. It would just be like me listening to him rap, and my feature would be me just smiling and listening to him, man. Like, I really just want to hear him rap. So I would love to do a song just so I can hear a verse from him.
Yeah.
Columbus MCs that I want to work with,
Producers
that I haven't
too.
worked with.
Producers too.
Any artists out in the city you like what they doing? Who would you like to tap in with if it works out, if it lines up? And you more newer on the scene as far as official goes. So
No, I know.
who we got coming for 2025 is really what we ask.
I was gonna say,
you know what I'm saying?
I got cats, but yeah, I'm trying to think of people like. Every time I see them, I ask them, and I want to work with them, and I haven't worked with them.
Yeah.
Carnell Willoughby,
Okay.
Rashad Thomas,
Mm-hmm.
the Audio Unit.
Hey, you shout
God
out
bless
to
that
him.
brother, man. I
Know
love
what's
that
going
dude.
on.
I want to do a song with Blueprint and Illogic together as Greenhouse.
That would be dope.
But
Right.
Kaleem Musa.
Okay.
Kaleem, me and Kaleem don't have anything, man. I've been trying to catch up with that brother, and I just, the way it's going, I can't catch up with him.
Have you did anything with the third?
No, Coast City, Shakes. Shakes still comes to the barbershop, man. I see Shakes all the time. And that's what I'm saying. I've rapped with them a lot, but I've never performed like an actual, a joint with them.
It's on the way.
So I would definitely love to rock with the Third. I'm trying to think specifically, man. Columbus Knicks. I'm trying to think of cats that I want to get at. I want to get at Columbus Knicks. I want to rap with him and just chop it up and spar with him, man. I love that dude. Trying to think of people that I haven't rhymed with. I want to do a song with Wallaby. I want to do a song with Wallaby, man. I want to do like...
Shout out to the real.
Yeah, something solid with Wallaby. I want to do something for people. Like a call and response joint with Wallaby. J Rawls. Shout out to J Rawls. I got a bunch of Rawls beats, but I've never recorded with Rawls. Yo, I'm getting ready to start going now. Mixmaster Ice. What? What? I just want to do something with Mixmaster Ice is doing the cuts. Are you crazy? Yo, who else? Barb Fant. I heard that Barb Fant and P Black just put out a project. Stop playing. I would love it if Barb could speak over some of my concepts and ideas. John Gibson again, JG the Juggernaut. Matter of fact, we are working on something. I have a song about mental health, and he's writing as we speak. I still want the copyright verse, so copyright, technically we haven't rocked yet. I would like to rock with him. Man, who else? It's folks. Prime. What? Prime. Man, if Prime could cook a beat for me and I can just speak my speak and just say what I'm saying, like please, Prime. And then there's Storm 9000. Storm 9000. I've been in the studio with Storm, and he's featured on one of my songs. He actually did a voice on one of my songs, but I would like to be produced by Storm. I would definitely like to be produced by Storm. Shout out to the homie Ty Wills, man. Ty Wills is like an all-around Superman. He's an all-around, yeah. I would like to do a song with Ty Wills. Just all of the people that I admire and I appreciate, I want to work with. And I think all of these features are very possible. The only feature that I think I couldn't get is Carnell Willoughby, because he don't rap like me. But I believe in my heart, man, because we done shared the microphone a few times. Okay. I believe in my heart that one day it's just gonna happen and we'll just be in the studio and he'll be like, yo, man, here's 16. Carnell is the most though. That's who I want to work with the most. Shout out to Trigno Turnbow too, man.
Yes, sir.
Trigno is the beast. I mean, he's the one right now. If I can pick like a rapper from the city to go, there's two people. I would take my man Prometheus Wade and put him up against anybody, and I would take Trig and put him up against anybody.
Let everybody know where they can follow you and find you at.
Man, you can get with me. First, you can come see me in real life at the Barber Shop at 417 Agler Road. I'm there every day except Sunday. Or you can see me on the internet on Instagram at _Jeremiah1000, JEREMIAH 1000.
Okay.
That's on Instagram. Or you can see me at Facebook. My name is Jeremiah Williams. Jeremiah Williams. I'm sure we probably follow the same people. We got mutual friends somehow, some way. All of the creatives, somebody I know knows you.
For sure.
And long story short, man, God bless. Shout out to my children. Shout out to Benjamin Williams and Ruby Williams. Y'all are the lights of my life. Shout out to my mother, Gloria Summersall, and shout out to my father, Reggie Walls. Shout out to everybody else that I know and love. Shout out to everybody that loves me. Shout out to my girlfriend, Lola Divine. Oh my goodness, girl. Wait till you hear my girlfriend sing, man. Listen, what? Shout out to really y'all for putting us on, man. Shout out to y'all for like showcasing the city and really putting on for your people, man. We need a lot more of this, man. This is what love feels like, man. So just continue to spread the love and continue to show love to the creators, man, because we got a lot for them.
Thank you.
There it is, y'all. Man said it best. Jeremiah, it's been a pleasure. We appreciate you taking some time out for us today, brother. Keith, you got any closing words?
No, that's it. Thank you. We appreciate you being here.
No doubt.
Until the next time, y'all. Central High Creators.
Peace.
We out. That was fire.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was fire.